Thank you for joining me on this talk on strategic web design. Today I'm going to teach you how to ditch the pretty and get a website that books your ideal clients. My name is Barbara Delicio and I am the co-founder of WikiDesign. I have 20 years of experience in branding and web design, so I've been doing this for a really long time, way before there were things like WordPress, Squarespace, or even CSS style sheets. A few years ago, I quit my 9-to-5 job to pursue full-time entrepreneurship. That was a really rewarding experience, and I'm so glad that I'm able to help passionate people start their businesses. I am married to my business partner, which has its challenges in and of itself, but we find a way to make it work, and together we've helped so many people quit their 9-to-5 jobs and live the life of their dreams. When I'm not working, I'm probably listening to a true crime podcast. My favorites are My Favorite Murder, Hollywood Crime Scene, and Sword and Scale. I want to just get right into my talk and start with going back in time to talk about our first website. So this is the first website that WikiDesign launched with. And if you're looking at this website, you're probably thinking, well, there's really nothing wrong with it. And you would be right. From a design standpoint, this has everything that a website should have. It has a portfolio page, it has call to actions, everything that you would expect a web designer's website to have. But this website wasn't doing us any favors. And that's because mainly our marketing strategy was weak back then. It was basically, we make websites and we're going to let everybody know about it. And spoiler alert, that's a really weak marketing strategy. And because of this, we weren't getting the type of clients that I wanted to get, and we definitely weren't making the amount of money that I wanted to make. And it was really frustrating, and at times I was ready to give up. But instead of giving up, I decided it was time to really sit and think about everything. So Mark and I sat down and we just talked about what it was that we wanted our business to be, what type of clients that we were trying to go after, and what we needed to do to really go after them. So we rebranded our company a few years ago, and that is what you see today. Now we've done some tweaks and some changes to this design, but overall this is the new branding. And as you can see, it's a lot different than what we originally started with. That's because there's strategy behind this brand. Everything that we put onto this website was done intentionally. We targeted our ideal clients. We talk directly to them and we share our story and who we are because that's the way we connect with our ideal client. The response we got to this was huge. We were really getting the type of people that we wanted to work with. And that's because we knew who our ideal customer was. Before, we had no idea. We were just marketing to everyone. So in turn, we were really marketing to no one. We might not be getting as many leads, but the leads that we are getting are people that really do want to work with us. So we're actually booking a lot more clients, even though the leads are coming in at a less pace than they would before. So putting strategy behind our website has really helped us grow our business into what it is today. So I want to show you some examples of ways that you can do that yourself. If I could define strategic web design, it would be this. Strategic web design merges your company goals with your website design. You aren't simply designing something that looks good. You are identifying your goals and addressing them throughout your design. Or in simpler terms, pretty does not equal profit. You can have the most beautiful website in the world, but if there's no real strategy behind it, you're not going to see results. So how do we get a strategic web design? Well, one way is to make it about them and not you. So what do I mean by this? Your website needs to address your client's problems. So I want you to think about when you Google something. You go to Google and you generally type in a question, and hopefully Google gives you the answer. You might click around a couple of times to find that answer, but eventually you get there. So imagine if somebody's Googling whatever service that you provide. If you're not providing them with the answer to their problem, then they're going to go somewhere else. So you really need to address your client's problems and let them know exactly how you'll help them. You also want to include your pricing, and you need to make sure your design and your layout works for your target demographic. So let's get more into addressing problems. So you need to ask yourself, what problems can you solve for your client? And how will your services or your products help them? Also ask yourself, what are the common questions that people keep asking you? These are all really important factors. Now, a great way to incorporate some of this is by what we did here on this example. This is an infographic that we designed for Emmerich Events. Now, Emmerich Events is a wedding and large-scale event planner in New York City. Now, the problem she was having when she came to us was that she was getting people coming to her saying, hey, I heard you're an event planner. Can you plan my party? Or can you plan my bachelorette? And that's really not what she does. She does large-scale performance events. So think things like the Grammys or big dance recitals, stuff like that. That's her specialty. So the brand that she was putting out there before we did a redesign really wasn't targeting the right people. And it was because the messaging was all off. So one of the things that we did was we created these infographics that really address the questions that people have. So she asked up front, have you ever hired a production manager, a stage manager, or an event coordinator? And there's a flow chart that goes through all these different scenarios that answers more questions and explains the services that she provides. So that's just one way that you can incorporate this into your website. So I want you to take action. Go through your emails from this week and find out what it is that people are asking you. If it's something that you get asked over and over again, that should be content that you incorporate into your website. I also want you to write down 5 things that your clients struggle with. And how can you help them? What can you do to help them with those 5 things? And then examine your website's copy. Are you talking too much about yourself? You don't want to be talking about how great you are and how many awards that you've won and all the great projects that you've worked on. There's definitely a place for that on your website, but at the end of the day, you need to let your clients know this is what I can do for you, because that's really what they care about. So, including pricing. Now, this is something that gets debated a lot back and forth. Should I include pricing? Should I not? And I am in the camp that you should, and here's why. If you have prices on your website, it qualifies your leads, so there's less back and forth with somebody that might not be able to afford your services. If you can say up front, this is the starting price. If you just have starting prices, you don't necessarily have to have packages or anything on your website. I'm not saying to, change your entire pricing structure, but at least have the starting price. What is the minimum it's going to cost for somebody to work with you? Have that on your website so people know if they only have a $500 budget and your services start at $1,000, that they're not the right fit for you. You're going to waste a lot less time going back and forth with people like that. And you're going to get leads that really do value what you bring to the table. So in this example, we included starting prices for Karen Miller, who is a writer. And you can see as soon as you scroll down through her services, it says custom website copywriting, and right underneath, starting at $1,400. So if somebody's looking for that service, they know the minimum that they're going to pay is $1,400. If they don't have that in their budget, then they're probably going to go somewhere else, but that's okay because it's not the right client. So I want you to take action and revise your services pages to include pricing. And if your prices vary, like I said before, just include starting prices. And make sure your service page clearly explains what it is that you do. So if you have different packages or you offer different things, lay that out on the services page so people get an idea of exactly what they're going to get for the price. Design and layout is another important thing, and this really goes into the make it about them and not you category. Now, your colors, your layout, and your graphics really need to fit the age group that you're targeting. What you might like personally might not work for your target market. So in this example, this is a website for a personal injury lawyer. Now you can see that the colors are muted, very professional looking. It looks like a personal injury lawyer's website. Imagine if you went to this site and it was hot pink or neon green. That really wouldn't fit a personal injury lawyer, and people might look at that and think, well, this doesn't seem right to me, and they might go somewhere else because of that. So you really want to make sure that it fits the target demographic, and the audience is going to respond well to the colors and layout that you choose. People that are suffering a personal injury probably don't want to see bright, happy colors. They want to see something that looks professional, so they know that the person that they're hiring potentially will be able to do the job. You also really need to consider mobile experience, as Google takes mobile indexing first now. So that means if your site doesn't look good on a mobile phone, you're going to get penalized. So pull your phone out and pull up your website and just make sure that everything looks good and it's easy to navigate. Otherwise, you could be getting penalized in your search rankings. So take action. Figure out who your ideal clients are. Make sure you pull up your website on your phone. And don't be afraid to get feedback. Get feedback from maybe friends and family, but also your clients. Ask them if there are things that you could do to make your website better. Clients are the best way to get feedback. If you just ask them, they usually will give you really good information. And since they are your clients, you want to take that information and take action with it and make sure that you're giving your clients what they want. Number 2, give some stuff away for free. What I mean by this is that a strategic website provides value to its visitors. When you provide valuable information on your site, it establishes you as an expert. This also greatly helps with SEO, and this is a great way to get people onto a mailing list so that you can email them about your different promotions or different services in the future. So a really great example of giving away information for free is this website that we designed for Epperly Travel. They are travel agents in Atlanta, Georgia. And they came to us with a lot of great content on their website. They had a lot of great blogs written, but the problem was it wasn't organized very well. So it was really hard to find the information. So we redesigned their website and created this inspiration section. And it has different blog posts of different areas that they've written about. And it's really great for somebody that's looking to travel to these destinations potentially and doing some research, because the people at Epperly Travel have actually been to these destinations, so they know all about the great restaurants and hotels and the excursions and all the cool stuff that you can do in these places. So they're establishing themselves as experts. And when somebody is looking to book a trip, they'll trust Epperly Travel because they gave this information away for free. And they really do know their stuff. So I want you to take action and write down 3 ways that you can share valuable content with your clients. Maybe that's blogging, maybe it's a podcast, maybe it's videos, or maybe it's something else. But write down 3 ways that you can share valuable content with your audience. Then create a posting schedule and be consistent. This is key. You don't want to write one blog post or do one podcast and then have 6 months go by without anything else. You need to be consistent so you stay on top of people's minds. Adding opt-ins. So opt-ins are a great way to give away something useful in exchange for an email address. This lets you promote your services in the future, and it's a really great way to stay in touch with people that visit your website. But the key with opt-ins is you have to make sure it's something that your clients actually want. So I go to a lot of websites and I see the opt-in is just simply something like subscribe or join my list. And that doesn't really give people an incentive to join. And we see that so much and we get so many emails that we really want to make sure if we're opting into an email list that we're getting something out of it. So a good example is what we've created with the 5 essentials for a great website. So if you're looking to redesign your website or potentially start a company and you need a website, you want to know what is essential for your website and what are the things that it really needs to have. So you can get a list from us by putting in your name and email address. And then in exchange for that, we send you some marketing materials via email about once a week. So I want you to take action. If you haven't already signed up for an email marketing service, there's ones like MailChimp, MailerLite, ConvertKit. They all have different abilities, but basically they allow you to create templates that you can send out to a mailing list. You want to create a valuable piece of content to give to your visitors. Like I said, you need to make sure that you're giving your visitors something that they actually would want. So think about something that you could offer to your clients in exchange for their email address. Then create a series of follow-up emails to send to your mailing list. So once you have them on your mailing list, you need to start sending emails. You don't just want to send them the freebie and then that's it. The goal is to really start communicating with these people on a regular basis. So write down some ideas for emails, create an email list, and that will help you market in the future. Number 3, share your story. What I mean by sharing your story is to really tell the story of why you started your business, what your values are, and why it is that you do what you do. The reason you want to do this is because people buy when they feel a connection. People want to buy from people, not from companies. So if you can put yourself out there and share a little bit about yourself and what it is that you do, people can relate to that. But you have to remember that even your about page needs to be targeted to your ideal clients. A really great example of an about page is this one that we designed for Beach Plum Interiors. And I love this about page because immediately you get answers to questions that you're probably going to be asking if you're looking for an interior designer. The first paragraph says, I have 15 years of experience in both residential and commercial design. Now, as somebody that was looking for an interior designer, I would want to know how much experience this person has and if they did residential, commercial, or if they did both. So you know that from the first sentence. She goes on to explain her values, which are intentional design, authenticity, her community, and spending time with her family and her son. And then you scroll down even further and you get some testimonials from her clients. So that's reinforcing that she really is good at what she does and she's a great person to work with. So I want you to take action and write down 3 questions that people ask about you. Not about your business, but about you specifically. Then write down why you started your business. I think everybody has a reason for why they started. And if you can share that reason, people really can relate to that. So this is something to think about. You also want to write down how your values drive the way that you do business. What is unique about you that you put into your business? I feel like everybody has a unique story and they have values that they hold dear to their hearts. And that really does show in the type of business that they run. So by sharing that, you really are giving people a look into the type of person that you are and really the type of business that they can expect to work with. Another great example of an about page is the one that we designed for Tailwinds. Now, Tailwinds is run by Howard, who is a flight instructor. He teaches people how to become pilots, which is a really cool thing. But the thing I really like most about this about page is he is very upfront and honest about what it is that he can offer. He says in the first paragraph that he is a one-man, one-airplane operation, and he is not trying to be anything but himself. You can see in the picture that he is proudly standing next to his airplane. He doesn't have a fleet of commercial jet engines or anything like that. It's just him and his plane, but he can teach you what you need to know about becoming a pilot. And then he tells you exactly what he can offer. He can offer certificate courses and ground courses. These are all things that when you become a pilot, you need to get certified in. So these are things that he can help you. If you're looking to become a pilot, you want to know, can you help me with these certain things? He then goes down to say that he has 25 years of experience as an educator and has a passion for teaching. But he does have extraordinary amounts of patience because he has raised 3 kids and 3 dogs. So he's putting a little humor into his about page, which I just love because that lets you know that, yes, flight school is going to be difficult, but he's going to try to make it fun and enjoyable for you at the same time. So I want you to take action and make sure that you're adding pictures of you to your about page. I go to so many about pages and I don't see one picture of the person behind the company. I might see stock photos or images that don't make any sense, to be honest with you, but your about page is the one place that you should have a picture of yourself. So make sure that you have a good picture that you can add to it. And if you aren't a good photographer, consider hiring somebody that can help you with that. Let people know that they're in the right place. So what I mean by that is answer those questions, answer what it is that you can do for them. Like we were talking about before, you really need to make your website about them and not you. So you need to say, yes, this is who I am, but also this is what I can do for you. And don't be afraid to show a little bit of your personality. If you like to make jokes and you're a funny person, add a little bit of that to your website. And if you're more serious, that's fine too. But just make sure that you're being authentic to who you really are. So to recap, a strategic website makes it about them, not you. It gives away valuable information for free, and it shares the story of why you started your company. So that wraps up my presentation on strategic web design. If you want more information, you can always visit my website at wikidesign.com. You can see more about the services that we offer for branding, SEO, and web design. And I'm always up for a chat. If you want to chat with me, you can reach me at barbara@wikidesign.com. Thanks so much.